Yo, what is going on, guys? Now we're going to go ahead and get into the third offense out of the top five, and that is going to be the gun split close pass. Now, yes, this offense is also in the Dolphins book if you wanted to run the Dolphins. I'm going to break it down out of the Pats, A, because I'm a Pats fan, B, because the Dolphins stink. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and get into the scheme, right? Now, you want to utilize, in my opinion, an escape artist quarterback when running this. If you don't utilize an escape artist quarterback, you can still run the offense. Like, this offense requires technically no route chems, no abilities, anything like that. However, having the escape artist quarterback allows you to get up out of the pocket with ease, abuse the corner routes, and overall just completely kill any sort of coverage your opponent might be trying to throw at you. So overall, we're going to be talking about, I believe it's 5 total plays: X drag trail, halfback wheel, mesh, wide receiver corner, and PAY shot. And out of these 5 plays, we're going to have basically 17 setups. Now, of those 17 setups, a lot of them are going to be the same with one minor tweak. This is one of those offenses that you don't need to get too crazy to run, right? You don't got to do all this crazy stuff. This is a 2-back set that's going to allow you to pick up pressure extremely easy and also be able to, dink and dunk all the way down the field. It's going to force your opponent to, play at the line of scrimmage while you're taking advantage of that by hitting posts and corners and stuff along those lines. So, with that being said, I do recommend an escape artist quarterback. That leaves you with the following teams. It's going to be Cardinals, Seahawks, Chiefs, Ravens, and Texans. As I mentioned, though, if you don't have one of those teams or if you don't have an escape artist quarterback, you can still run this. It just makes it a little bit more difficult. Now, to pick up any pressure that is going to be thrown at you, let's go ahead and just get that out of the way first. Pressure-wise, this is how you pick it up. So we're going to go ahead and showcase that first. And it doesn't matter what play we use. So the thing that you're going to want to do is, if they're blitzing crib like this, right? So say they're sending everybody. You're going to want to max protect, which is going to block both of your running backs. You're going to shift away from the side that you want to roll out to. So in this case, I ideally want to roll to the left because I have both my deep routes going that direction. So I'm going to slide to the right. And then I'm going to ID the outside linebacker on this left-hand side. So as you see, it looks like this. I've got the line sliding to the right, the ID of the guy to the left. That left guy is going to get blocked. And now you're going to roll out and you're going to be able to hit your routes. That's why I mentioned you want an escape artist quarterback, because that's what's going to allow you to get up out of the pocket and put that extra stress on your opponent, right? So I'm going to go ahead, do this again. And like I said, it doesn't matter what type of blitz your opponent is running, right? It could be the 3-4 odd, 3-4 bear, 1-4-6, dollar, 3-3-5. Doesn't matter. You're going to pick the pressure up basically the same way. So here I want to roll to the right. Just ignore the routes that I have on the field. And I ID the guy on the left. Left guy gets picked up. We can go ahead and either get up out of the pocket and run, or we can hit one of the route combos that we have going to that side. It's really that simple. Max protect, slide away from the side you want to roll to, ID the side that you're rolling towards. So once again, if you want to block the running backs and roll left, you're going to max protect, shift shift your offensive line to the right, and ID the guy on the left-hand side. If you wanted to flip that and roll to the right side, you would max protect, shade or shift your offensive line to the left, and then you're going to ID the guy coming free on the right-hand side. That's simple. That's going to pick up every blitz in this game. Now, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to show you the other way to block, which is going to be this. So say that you're in a defense like over G, right? This is a pretty standard thing. Now, if they're in over G and you want to pick up pressure, it's going to be, once again, it's going to be determined by which side you want to roll towards. So say we want to roll to the left. We would max protect, slide our protection to the left, double team the defensive end, the defensive tackle, ID the defensive end. That's going to cut block that defensive end on the left-hand side. Now we're going to be able to roll this direction and either get up out of there with the quarterback, or we're going to roll towards our route combos. So that's it, right? Say you want to do it to where you're rolling to the right. You're going to max protect, shift or slide protect to the left, double team the DT, ID the defensive end, and now it's going to cut block that defensive end. You're going to be able to roll to the right and do whatever you want route-wise there. So that's how you pick up the pressure right off the bat, right? That's the easiest way to pick up the pressure. So now let's get into the plays. Plays are going to be X drag trail, halfback wheel, mesh, wide receiver corners, and PAY shot. First play we're going to be breaking down is going to be the X drag trail. I've got 5 total setups for that play, and let's get into it. All right, so before we get into the play X drag trail, let's go ahead and talk about the package you want to use. That's going to be the strong slot package, as you see in the bottom right side of the screen. What this does is it moves our tight end from his normal spot to the left ISO receiver. So what you want to do after that is just go to that left slot, put in a receiver there. That way, when you call your play, you're going to have 3 receivers and 2 running backs out on the field. So we're going to go and come out in X drag trail. We're going to go ahead and we will show this against cover 4, Tampa 2, cover 3, and obviously man coverage. So right off the bat, cover 4, what you want to do with this play, and like I said, I've got 5 total setups for this. The first one is going to simply be to max protect. You're just going to max protect. Now here you can either sit in the pocket, or you can utilize the blocking to where you're rolling to the left. So say you're sitting in the pocket, you're just going to hike the ball. You're going to have the drag route getting open underneath. You'll have the post route going over the top of it. And if they are over aggressive and they play the post route, in this case being ran by Willie Snead, you'll have the deeper post open behind it. So it'll look very similar to this right here. You see you've got the post route, and of course you've got the deeper post behind that. So let's go ahead, move this back a little bit. The hash marks for this offense really do not matter. It can be the middle of the field, right side of the field, doesn't really matter. If I had to choose, I would have the dual receiver side on the wide side of the field. That's if you have to choose. So let's go ahead and get into why this works. This is also a cover 3 bomb, right? So if you were just to go ahead and hike the ball, we're going to go ahead, we're going to get up out of the pocket to the left. You'll see you're able to technically bomb this over the top for what could be a touchdown against cover 3. That's simply with the max protect, right? That as long as you have the post route, the deep post, the short post, and the drag, you can bomb cover 3. Although in MUT, you pretty much have to have 99 speed players in order to do that. If you try doing it with, say, a 96 speed receiver, 95 speed, and they have a 99 speed safety, that becomes a risky throw. This is an offense that I want you guys to really understand. This is not a big play, huge chunk type of offense. This is going to be a dink and dunk, but pretty much always have something open type of offense. And X drag trail is pretty much the perfect example of that. So that was the first setup, right? That's the X drag trail. Going to be open against cover 3, cover 2, basically everything. You just got to make the read between the drag, the deep post, and the short post. Now, the second setup is going to be to hitch the X receiver and the B receiver. So you're going to have dual hitches and a post that cannot be guarded and has to be guarded manually. So as you'll see right here, you'll have the post that's going to get over the top of the zones, just possession catch it, nothing's going to play it. Now, if you have a post flag elite player, this is where you want it, right? If you have a guy that has post flag elite, you would want it in the slot, 100%. Now, it's pretty much how that works, right? So if they shade over the top, they shade underneath, basically whatever they do with their coverage that doesn't involve purples, that's going to give you the option to throw these hitches. You see you got the hitch to the right, you've got the hitch to the left. both of these hitches are going to be open, like I said, unless they have purples. If they have purples, you're going to have to hit the short post. That's going to be your second setup. Now the third setup is going to be to hitch the X receiver, and you're going to slant B and motion him across the field. So it's going to look like this. You're going to motion him across, you're going to hike once he gets right there, and this gives you the low ball slant option in combination with the hitch and the post route going over the top of it. Like I said, this is a very simple yet crazy effective offense. So you've got three routes, right? So you've got the slant, you've got the hitch, and then you've got the post route, all of which have to be manually guarded. So you see, boom, you got the post route going over the top, possession catch it. You've got the hitch underneath, you can always lowball that. You've got the motion slant. Once again, the only thing that's going to stop that motion slant is going to be a QB spy. So right there, you've got three routes out on the field. All three routes require your opponent to manually guard or to make a crazy adjustment, right? They're not going to be able to stop this in a stock cover 3 or cover 2 or cover 4 or 2 man under. Basically anything stock, right? They're going to have to make adjustments to slow down these setups, and they're simple. So let's go ahead and take another look, right? If our opponent is in a cover 4 and we want to abuse them with a motion corner route, we can do that out of the X drag trail play. So what we're going to do, we're going to max protect, streak the ISO receiver, in this case X, and we're going to motion Snead across the formation and hike once he passes the X receiver. What's going to happen with this is we're going to be able to throw an outward breaking route to the sideline and possession catch it. Now, ideally, you do this to the wide side of the field. So let me go ahead and move this over, and we'll get into the full setup, right? So what we're going to do, we're max protecting, streaking the ISO guy. What we're going to do with the B receiver is we're going to put him on an in route, and then we're going to motion Snead across. So we're going to go ahead, motion him over. You see, we're going to let him get out there. We're going to hike. Boom. You got the nice little bullet pass to the outside, possession catch it. Easy pickup of, I'd say, 8 to 10 yards. Go to instant replay just to show this to you again. What's going to happen is you'll see right away, corner that's in the deep zone is going to drop back too far. Linebacker will not be able to get out there and make a play on it because he's too far to the inside when we snap it. You see right away, boom. He's got no shot of getting out there. Just a nice bullet pass to the outside. Linebacker, whether he's in a cloud flat, hard flat, any of that stuff, will not be able to get out there and play it. Now, if they take their user and they manually go guard that route, you're going to have the backside in coming across right to where they vacate, right? So it's going to be in this area right here. Now, nice, easy, once again, 4 or 5 yard gain that requires and puts crazy amounts of stress on the opponent's user, and no zone's going to be able to play it, right? That's going to force your opponent into a cover 2. If they're not in a cover 2, that's going to be open. So say they're in a cover 3 sky, very popular type of defense, right? You're going to go ahead, do the same exact setup. You're going to motion him over, hike once he passes, like this. See, boom, bullet pass outside, pick up 10 yards. If they manually play it, same thing's going to happen, right? You're going to have the hitch, or excuse me, you're going to have the in route coming open behind it. That's going to be your 4th setup for X drag trail. Now, finally, the last setup that I want to talk about is going to be to hitch the X receiver. And now this time, we're going to take the B receiver and motion him over. This is going to be a setup we use against cover 2. So say our opponent is in the Tampa 2 defense. We're going to motion him over, and once he passes that receiver right there, we're going to throw a bullet pass to the outside, and this is going to allow us to bomb cover 2. So you got to get the timing down, because in Mutt, if they have 99 speed, they might be able to make a break on the ball unless you get your timing down. So pay attention to how I did that. You want to hike the ball once he passes right here. If you hike it a little bit too late, if this guy's in a soft squat, he's going to play it. If you hike it too early, the corner, or excuse me, the safety will drift over there and make a play on it. You need to hike the ball right once he passes right here, passes the ISO receiver, allows the ISO receiver to get the first step going up the field. That's going to guarantee that you can get this over the top of the cloud or soft squat and get it before the safety can make a play on the ball. So that's going to be the 5 total setups for X drag trail. The last one that I just broke down is specifically going to be used against cover 2. The 4th setup that we broke down, which was the motioning over of the short post, that's going to be used against cover 3 and cover 4 and also man coverage. That's going to be your, stick in essence, right? If you're familiar with the West Coast gun bunch, that's going to be stick. Whereas when you motion over the deep corner, that's going to be treated very similar to, say, a corner strike out of gun bunch. So besides that, your other setups are all pretty much basic, all attacking the short to middle area of the field, whether it's the max protect setup, it looks like this, or if you go with the dual hitches, or if you go with the motion slant, where you're motioning the slant to the left and giving yourself a 3-way read between the motion slant, the hitch, and then the post coming open towards the left hash, right? So 5 total setups for X drag trail. Next thing we're going to take a look at is going to be palms. For palms, it's a very popular defense to use against this offense, so I'm going to utilize the play halfback wheel, and that's coming up next. Alright guys, so now we're going to take a look at the play halfback wheel, and this play is specifically designed at attacking the cover 4 palms defense. As I mentioned, almost every scheme I use, I have to have a palms beater because people will go to it, and if you aren't prepared for it, it can just shut your whole offense down with how goofy it actually plays. So when I'm in this offense, the split close pads, I love going to halfback wheel when I'm facing palms. Now, the palms beater out of this is very simple. All you want to do is you want to motion over the A receiver and hike the ball before he passes the solo receiver, right? So we're going to go ahead. I'm going to set up palms right here. So we're set up. We're going to go ahead and spy that guy. Now, we're going to motion Sneed over, hike once he gets right there. And as you will see, you're going to be able to bomb this motion guy all the way over the top of the defense. Now, this is good because nobody actually guards the motion guy. I mean, technically somebody guards him, but he's never going to be in really your field of view, right? Just to go ahead and show you the replay, you've got somebody guarding the flats to both sides, so that neither of those are going to be options. You've got this in route that will get open if they manually chase this route right here, which is our motion. So you see, boom, motion guy is wide open. The in route is going to be your secondary read right here. And then if for whatever reason they are playing or adjusting one of their safeties, if they do that, the deep post will get open. So you see wide open right here. And then you've got the in route that gets wide open right here. They can't bait you to both sides. And that's really the key, right? When facing a Palms defense, especially if they know how it works and who to use her, they can typically take away one route. But they're not going to be able to take away 2 routes, which is what this, is really good at attacking with. So we're going to go ahead, same exact thing, just to show you one more time. We're going to go ahead and motion him, hike before he passes that receiver. And as you see, he's going to be wide open, and it's going to be a huge gain, if not a touchdown. So that's going to be halfback wheel. It is primarily used as a palms beater. I don't use it for really anything else. So the next play that we're going to talk about is going to be the play that I absolutely hate defending, probably more than any other play out of the formation, and that's going to be mesh. Alright guys, so now we're in the play mesh, and for mesh I've got 2 different setups that I use. One that involves motioning, the other one doesn't. So the first setup is going to be the one that involves no motion, and that's going to be to flat the X receiver or the side of your running back on the wheel. You're going to block the other running back, and then you're going to hitch or flat the A receiver. both of these are actual options. You can either hitch the A receiver or put them on a flat. The hitch is, in my opinion, better in terms of attacking a really good user, because they're not going to be able to, manually guard the hitch and also the wheel route. But you do have the corner route that can also get open if you go with the dual flat combination. So this is, on defense, this is just random plays. I have no idea what the opponent may be calling. We're going to just go ahead and run these as is. So right away here, you'll see you've got the running back on the wheel route. That was some sort of man coverage. That is the reason that this play mesh is so difficult to defend. That route, the little running back wheel route, cannot be guarded by pretty much anything. They have to have a vert hook shaded down to play that wheel route. If they don't have that, that route's open. And it's really that simple. Like, the route's open if you do not have a vert hook shaded down. And that is not a common defensive adjustment, especially for people that don't know what they're doing, right? Your typical average player is never going to be in a cover 2 and shade their coverage underneath, thinking that that's going to stop the wheel route, because if they shade underneath, then they're going to get popped by the corner route to the right. So it's just one of those things that, unless they know how to defend, they are going to have no shot at guarding that. They're going to have to manually guard it. That's when the corner route comes into play. So we're going to go ahead and do it again. This time, we're going to go ahead and look to the right side of the field. There you see the corner route, which you just throw with a bullet pass to the sideline, possession catch. Really simple, right? So one last time, and this time I'm going to put the hitch. We've got the hitch route. See, they're blitzing somebody. We're going to throw the running back wheel, because once again, that was man coverage. And really, it's that easy, right? This play is this simple, that you read. First read is the running back on the left, Y. Second read is going to be to this right-hand side, whether it is the corner route, or if you go with the hitch route. So you see right away, boom, throw the low ball hitch, and pick up 5 yards. User can't guard both, and it's really attacks too quick to where they can't really even blitz you. And that's what's kind of crazy about mesh. So that's your first setup, right? First/second, whichever way you want to look at it. I like utilizing the hitch a lot, just because blitz-heavy opponents can typically jump the running back route, which will give you the hitch. Now let's take a look at my second setup for this, and that's going to be to utilize motion. So your setup's going to be basically the same, in the sense that you're going to flat the X receiver, block the running back on the right, hitch the A receiver. But now we're going to motion over this receiver Sneed, the B receiver, and essentially create a post route. So here you'll see we're going to motion him over. We're going to hike before he gets there. And what you're looking to do is you're looking to hit the post over the top. Now, I'm going to go to instant replay to show you how this play all comes together with the motion. Now, right off the bat, just like normal, we've got the hitch to the right. So right here, say the pressure's coming in, whatever the case may be, boom, you've got the hitch. Just lowball that, pick up your 4 to 5 yards. Same thing if they go manually play that, right? So say their user goes and manually plays that hitch. Now you're going to have the wheel route that's going to cut up right here. You can throw that in there. Now, that was actually really good defense by the defender. That will not happen, I'd say, 99 out of 100 times. That wheel route beats man coverage that consistently that I can say 99 out of 100 times that route is going to get wide open. So with their user, that's going to put them in a bind, right? Because do they guard this running back route? Do they guard the hitch? Or do they guard the post route that we're motioning over? Real quick, easy way to figure that out. They have one user. We've got 3 receivers that theoretically are going to be open. No way to truly defend that. And that's going to be what mesh is, right? You're having pretty much really quick reads to both sides of the field, both sidelines, and then we're incorporating a post route that they have to manually guard as well. So in case they are sitting in coverage, they're going to be stuck between the hitch post combination on the right-hand side of the field, while also still having to respect the flat wheel combination to the left. And that's going to be mesh. Like I said, this is not a very difficult or complicated, complex scheme. It's just overly effective and extremely simple. So that's going to be mesh. Next thing we're going to look at is going to be the play wide receiver corners. And this is going to be one of those plays that has 5 different setups, although they're all very similar. And they all utilize pretty much rolling out and attacking the opponent with our quarterback's legs and dumbing out the zone. So next up is going to be wide receiver corners. All right, guys, so now we're going to take a look at the play wide receiver corners. And this formation, or excuse me, this play has 5 different setups, right? They're all going to be kind of similar, but all just adding one different element to take advantage of what our opponent might be doing in terms of their defense. So the first 2 setups are going to involve the rollout corners. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and max protect on all of these setups, right? So we're max protecting. The first setup is we're going to streak the A receiver, in route the X receiver. This is going to be our rollout to the right. Hopefully throw the corner out once he dumbs out the zone. As you'll see right here, we're going to roll out, boom, hit the corner. That is going to be your first setup, right? You have the streak corner in route combination. I'm going to go to the replay just so you guys can see it again. So you see streak goes up the middle, in route comes open underneath. No zone's going to play the zoned out or the rolled out corner, right? So you've got this route, you've got this route underneath in case their user goes and guards the corner. And if they're going to be in a cover 3, you might have the streak over the top for the touchdown. Just depends how they set up their coverage, right? So nothing super crazy with that setup, but extremely effective. Rollout corners, especially with an escape artist quarterback and a guy that has post flag elite, is insane, right? That's the meta of Madden 20 in terms of a passing offense, whether it's gun bunch, tight offset, tight end. Typically, the near close flex, like all of these offenses revolve around the rollout corners. So that's going to be your first setup, right? There's no point in me showing you it over and over again. You're going to roll out, you're going to throw the corner. Ideally, if they guard the corner, you throw the in route. Now, the second setup is going to be the exact same thing. We're going to streak the A receiver. We're going to max protect. We're going to in route the B receiver. And now we're going to motion the A receiver over to the left. So we're going to set up our protection to hopefully be able to roll to the left, utilize the motion. We're going to hike after he passes the ISO receiver. You're going to roll out. You're going to throw the corner. You're going to possession catch it. And you're going to pick up your 10, 15, 20 yards, whatever the case may be. So your 2 setups, right? I'm going to go back to instant replay just to show this to you. This motion right here just basically makes it kind of obvious if they know what we're doing to which way we're going to try to roll out to. But B, it's going to open up to the fact that the corner route's always going to be open. Like they're going to have to go manually play these corner routes in order to defend them. Or be in a cover 4 palms, keep in mind. So they go manually play that, boom. Then you've got the in route that's going to be open underneath. So I rolled out and threw this well before the in route got open. But as you can see, if they were to go play this, then one of these 2 defenders that are in the middle of the field would not be there to play the in route. It's just the way that it works. So you're going to have those 2 setups. Both are utilizing the rollout. Both are utilizing a streak, corner, and an in route combination. Basically depending on whether or not we're going to roll to the right or the left. Very simple concept with utilizing motion to attack both sides. Now, let's get into your other setups, right? And this is going to be your more traditional sit in the pocket type of setups. So what we're going to do is we're going to max protect. We're going to hitch the X receiver, hitch the A receiver, and now we're going to motion the B receiver over to the left. This is going to give us 2 hitches and a motioned over post route that we can trigger the dive catch to. So you see, boom, you can trigger the dive catch by simply throwing a bullet pass to the right and possession catching it. They're going to get the dive animation. Nothing's going to stop them from catching that ball unless they user it defensively. So, as you see right here, we just motioned him over. So right off the bat, you see everybody's down here in the box. You've got all sorts of goofy zones down here. So theoretically, I could throw this low ball hitch, or I could throw the post route as it breaks over the middle of the field, which is exactly what I did. So there you go. 3 routes that your opponent's going to have to over adjust to defend. So go ahead, I'm going to do that setup one more time, and then we're going to move on to the 4th setup. Keep in mind it's dual hitches and a post. Motioning that over. We'll see what happens here. Once again, post route gets open, dive catch that. If they manually guard that, it's going to leave open the hitches underneath. The hitches underneath pull the zones down, which is why the post is getting open. If they make the adjustments or they take one of those hook zones to play the post, that's going to leave open the hitch. So, very simple concept. Now, let's go ahead and talk about the 4th setup to wide receiver corners, and that's going to be to simply drag both the X and the A receiver. It's going to be slightly different than the dual hitch setup, but it's something else that our opponent has to worry about. So, if they're in man coverage, which I have no idea if they are, doesn't look like they are here, but you're going to be able to attack with the post over the top, as you see right there. And also, it's going to force your opponent to have hard flats. If you don't have hard flats, you'll be able to utilize the drag routes and pick up your 4 to 5 yards that way. So we're going to go ahead, run this a couple more times. See right off the bat, boom, boom. We're going to throw the dive catch again because the zones are biting down on the drags. One more time, let's see if we can get the computer to actually play it, play the post. If they can't, I'll make the adjustments myself and show you. But as you'll see right here, no, they're not going to. So you see, boom, possession, catch that. Basically, the computer's not reacting to it, so I'm going to adjust the coverage to play cloud flats. So we're right here, we've got the mid read, we've got some clouds out there. This theoretically should do a decent job at stopping the post, but as you will see, you'll be able to throw the drags underneath, right? So you can see, boom, throw the drag, pick up your 4 to 5 yards. If they're in man coverage, that's the other thing that drag routes tend to do well against. So say they're in like a pinch buck O type of scheme. We've got 2 drag routes. We're going to motion over the post. You'll see that while utilizing the motion, it's going to allow these drags to get open underneath a little bit better, right? So like, I don't know who Seth Roberts is, but no idea if he's fast or not. But as you saw, he had plenty of separation on that drag route. And it's all because of the fact that we're motioning and throwing his alignment off. So that's going to be the 4th setup to wide receiver corners. Now, the last setup is going to be utilizing a flat and a slant. So we're going to max protect like we have been. We're going to go ahead and put the X receiver on a flat, the A receiver on a slant, and we're going to motion over this post route. Right, it's a corner route that we're turning into a post. Now, what you'll see here is basically we're going to have a nice little window to throw to. Now, right there, I threw that a little bit late, and it allowed it to get played. So let me go ahead and do it again. You're still going to have the post going over the top of that, and you're going to have underneath the slant, right? So if you throw the slant underneath, they're not going to be able to ball hawk both, right? So they can't guard the slant and the post, but the slant will actually get in those areas of the zone that are not necessarily difficult to defend, but that are more unpredictable, right? So if they are utilizing the cover 4s with purples, if they're utilizing cover 3 with purples, those are the zones that are either in man coverage or they play really close to the line of scrimmage. If they have those out there and say they don't make the adjustments to go clouds or hard flats, that's where the slant comes into play, right? So obviously, if they go with hard flats, the slant's going to be open. If they go cloud flats, the slant's open. If they are in a cover 3 with purples, let's go ahead and just show you how this works. So say they're in a cover 3 with purples, watch how the slant plays. And that's what I wanted to show right here. You're going to motion him over, boom. You're going to have this nice little area of the field to where you can fit that ball into. So basically, as long as you don't throw that slant route late, you're going to have this nice area of the field to where you can throw. So we're going to go ahead. We're in instant replay here. I just want to focus on the slant, right? Because we already know the post over the top is going to be open. But you'll see right here, the slant, once it crosses through the hook zones, it's going to be wide open. Because the flat is going to pull any of those purples or clouds to the sideline over here, leaving a wide open area of field for the slant to be possession caught. So that's going to be the fifth and final setup to the play wide receiver corners. So let's go ahead and recap this just one time. The first setup is going to utilize the streak in route combination to where we're going to try to roll out and throw the corner. That's your main setup. Now, if you don't want to do that, or say you want to go to the other side, you're going to max protect, streak the slot receiver in route B, and then you're going to motion over the A receiver. So it would look like this, and you're going to hike once he passes right here. So you would hike about, I'd say, in between these two players right here. Now, that's if you're trying to roll out. If you don't want to roll out with the play wide receiver corners and you want to sit in the pocket, you have a couple different options. One being the dual drag or dual hitches. You're going to motion over the B receiver, hike before he sets. That's going to be one, right? You're also going to be able to do the same thing with dual drags. Now, the dual drags is better against man coverage. It is better against people that use cloud flats. So definitely something to mix in a lot, because it's going to be your 4, 5, 6 yard gain and just kind of an annoyance, right? It's going to force them to bite down on the drags, leaving the post route open. The final thing is going to be the flat slant combination, as you see right here. That's going to take advantage of anybody that is utilizing stock purples on the field. So if they're utilizing, a cover 4 with, the purples by the outside linebackers, or if they're in a cover 3 with stock purples, like, I'm not going to say mutt bums, but that is the DDA defense. And really it's not bad, but this concept with the flat slant is going to take advantage of it. So overall, those are your 5 setups for wide receiver corner. Now the next play we're going to be breaking down is going to be PAY shot. We've got 2 setups for that. We've got a concept video, and that's going to be it for the formation. So up next, PAY shot. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and talk about PAY shot out of the split close Pats formation. And this is the play that everybody seems to know, right? And we've got 2 different setups. Both are pretty much meta. Well, let me rephrase that. One is pretty much meta. The other is how to abuse both of the crossing routes. So first one, just to get it out of the way, is going to be the meta setup. You're going to block the running back on the left, the Y running back. That's going to give you the ability to eliminate the play action. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to streak the A receiver, and you're going to motion slant B. So it's going to look like this. You're going to motion B out, and then you're going to hike, throw the slant underneath, and assuming your receiver puts his hands up to catch the ball, it's going to be an easy completion, right? This is going to be something I've talked about in pretty much all of these offenses. The only way to stop these motion slants is to have a QB spy on the field. So with that being said, the motion slant forces the opponent to user that slant route. Once they user the slant route, that's when the deep crossing route is going to come into play, right? So you see, boom, you've got that right there. You're going to throw the crossing route over the top. Now, that right there was a miserable throw by Jackson. I threw it a bit too early, and the linebacker was pretty close. So I'm going to go ahead and do that again, and then we're going to move on. This is 100% a meta setup, right? So you guys have seen this over and over again. So I'm not too worried about, showcasing perfect, execution on this play. But as you can see, that crossing route gets open, right? I think most people know that by now. There's hundreds of videos of it on YouTube. If you haven't seen that, you need to look around more. But truthfully, that setup is very good, and definitely something to mix in when running the scheme. Now, the thing that most people realize, or good defensive players realize, is that with their user, if they put a spy on the field, right? So just one spy right here, they can put clouds or vert hooks or whatever the case may be. But as long as they chase this ISO receiver, you're going to be in trouble offensively when running this play. So in order to kind of combat that is you want to take either of these two running backs, right? You can take either running back, put them on a streak, motion them out to the left. So now we're going to motion him out on a streak. We're going to put the B receiver on a streak. And now we have two crossing routes that our opponent has to manually guard. Obviously, your opponent can't manually guard both of them. They have to hope we make a mistake. So as you see right here, boom, we're going to roll a little bit to the left, throw right over the top of the zone that's out there. So the fact that we motioned out the running back on the streak opens up the crossing route to A. We can utilize the other running back and do the exact same thing, right? So now say they use cloud flats as opposed to the curl flats. It's going to be the exact same thing, right? So now we can go back to the side over here, wide open, easy dot. So between those two setups, the first one being meta, in the sense you're utilizing the motion slant, streak, crosser combination, and then the combination of that and motioning out one of the two running backs and having two crossing routes that can't actually be defended manually or with any sort of zone, really puts just another added element of stress on your opponent's user, right? This play is perfect for those 3rd and longs, those 4th downs. That route right there, or that play setup, requires you to essentially blitz house, because if you don't blitz crib and get home, then I can come out and I know I'm going to be able to pick up a big chunk of yards. It's easy. You know you're going to be able to pick up a big chunk of yards unless you get sacked when you utilize the 2 streaks and the 2 crossers. So PAY shot is going to be your big play potential, so to speak, whereas your mesh and your wide receiver corner is pretty much there to attack the short or the 5 to 10 yard range, whereas PAY shot is geared at attacking at the 20-25 plus yardage, range. So overall, the scheme is extremely good. It is very methodical in terms of how you can actually dot your way down the field, 5, 6, 7 yards here. It's basically like a death by paper cuts type of offense is the way that I like to describe it. You utilize motion with the scheme to, keep your opponent off guard, and if they over adjust, that's where the big plays are going to come into play, right? So you combine that with the fact that you can audible down, right? So say you wanted to audible down to weak close or strong pro. Both of those are run sets where your opponent's not going to be able to really run 1-4-6. And that eliminates a whole spectrum in terms of defense that you don't have to worry about. Once they're in the 3-4s, you're able to pick them up with ease, right? You're going to max protect, slide away, ID the side you want to roll to, and then their blitz is basically dead. They have nobody in coverage, and they got routes that they have to manually defend going all over the field. So split close Pats is a dominant regs offense. It is extremely good in MUT as well. Although I don't think it is the best offense out, I do believe that a good passer in this offense is insanely hard to defend. And that's why this offense has been one of the best throughout the entire course of the year. So that's going to basically sum up these split close Pats. I've got one more video that I want to talk about, a concept that I've already broke down on the website, but I just kind of want to hit on it again, and that's going to be the out wheel route combination to attack soft squats. And then we're going to move it right along. Alright guys, so here's going to be my last video for the gun split close Pats formation, and this is going to be one of the concept videos that I've been doing. Now, this concept is something that I've already broken down on the website, and it is the out and the wheel combination to abuse soft squats. So, if you haven't seen those tip videos, let's go ahead and just break it down real quick for you. So, the thing that you're going to do is, depending upon the play, it doesn't really matter, right? So here's PAY shot. If they are in a defense that utilizes soft squats, right? And there's a lot of the meta defenses that do. The pinch dog to buzz, the DB sting to press, or whatever it's called at a 1-4-6. All of these meta type of defenses revolve around the soft squats because they're honestly the best flat zone in the game, in my opinion. They are man coverage when they are supposed to be. They are cloud flats when they're not. Like, it's just, they're really good zones, right? There's no No debating that at this point. So, a lot of people will call a cover 2 defense that utilizes this and just let them do their own thing. So you can counter that, though, by utilizing an out route and a wheel route combination. So on PAY shot, a simple setup is to put the A receiver on a hitch. You're going to wheel route the running back on the left. You're going to put the B receiver on an out route, and you're going to motion him over. So when you do this, what's going to happen is you'll be able to throw the wheel route right over the top of that soft squat, and it's going to be open every single time. So let's go ahead and go to the instant replay and showcase this again. So what you'll see here is you have the outside corner in a soft squat. He is essentially now in man coverage. So he's going to play this out route, and he's not going to budge off of that. So as you can see, with him essentially being in man coverage, that allows the running back on the wheel route to just simply run past him. That's going to work to the short side or the wide side. It doesn't matter either way. So say you wanted to go ahead and you wanted to utilize the PAY shot play and you wanted to use it to the other side. You can do the same exact combination where you've got the wheel route to the right, hitch to the left, out route to the B receiver, and just motion him out. You'll see that, well, if you don't get instant sacked, you'll see that you can do the same thing to the right side as well. So we're going to go ahead and do it one more time, and then we're going to call it a scheme at this point, right? So we're going to motion him over. Boom. Hike the ball. And as you see, right over the top of where that cloud flat theoretically should be, and you've got a huge gain going down that sideline. So it's a really good way of attacking the cover 2s that your opponent theoretically feels safe in. The soft squats do a great job of, basically playing what they need to play. This is the way to, attack that specific zone. So you're attacking the specific zone that, in my opinion, is the best zone in the game, and that is the soft squats. So easy little concept video that I use out of split close pass because my opponent has no idea if I'm doing it to the left or the right, so they're either going to have to guess correctly or get abused by it, or they're going to have to get out of soft squats, meaning that they're going to have another zone out there, like a cloud flat or a hard flat, that doesn't really play much. And that's really what I wanted to talk about in this video, is how to force our opponent out of one of the best zones in the game, which is the soft squat.